Like this?
Yep, perfect. Yep, cool.
Test.
Tickety test. Let me see your chest.
Yo, what's up? Hey, everybody. Welcome to the JVIMPACTS Podcast. We're talking about motivation, health, and life. Well, guess what, folks? We had such a huge response from our interview with Kev, Coach B, and Coach JJV. That's me talking about myself in third person. But remember, I'm the top health and mindset coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind will eventually become your words. And repeat after me. Become your reality. So this podcast, I have a very special guest, Jerame Mudick. I'm very excited to have him on board. But before we do that, a couple reminders out there. Go to our YouTube channel, 3T Fitness. Check out my let me explain this. So 3T Fitness, YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook is the serious side, the meditation side of JV. Go to my TikTok, you're going to see my comedian side. You're going to say, why are you laughing? Oh yeah, we're going viral, baby. So go on JVIMPACTS, you're going to see my funny side. You know what's pretty cool about TikTok, and I digress, but is it's allowing me to connect with my daughter on a deeper level, which is kind of cool, because that's how kids communicate now. Parents, stop tripping because your kids are on Instagram and Facebook all the time. You were on the rotary phone for hours every single night, just sitting there talking to your girlfriend. And then, what was it, video chat that came out? The little chat on the, what was it, AOL, and they had those video chats or whatever. You guys know.
Regular webcam.
Yeah, like webcams. So stop tripping on your kids, man. That's how they communicate. You know what's interesting? My daughter's phone broke, and she has not had her phone during the quarantine. So she has no communication with her friends. They don't text anymore. They communicate through Snapchat. She's reading books. It's pretty interesting. Anyways, all right, let's go ahead and get it kicked off. So I got a special guest here, Jerame Mudick, one of my dear friends. Let me tell you our relationship and how we met. It's pretty neat, and I really, when I say this, I'm not just saying this. I really look up to this gentleman. He does not realize how much we actually talk about him here, right, Kev?
Right.
We actually do. You come up in conversation quite a bit. And the reason why is because, number one, super genuine, amazing human being. Number two, the most knowledgeable man I've met on this planet. Pretty damn close. Wow. He's very humble. But what I mean by that is I learned more from him versus becoming a certified personal trainer, going through the On Academy. In general, learn more about the human body, anatomy, and how the body actually moves. And through the little limited things he taught me with the time, because he would never give me his time when I was at the gym, is the things that he taught me really changed the way that I move and the way that I think about training. I used to do a lot of heavy weight bearing exercises, had a bad back all the time, lower back. He showed me small movements, and I used to watch him move. I used to stare at him awkwardly in the gym while he was training so I could watch him. I cannot move like him, but I'd highly recommend you check him out. So before we go into that, what is your Instagram?
It's just my name, Jerame Mudick.
Jerame Mudick. Let me spell it for you guys. Go. You spell it.
Yeah,
You know how to spell your name.
Jerame and then Mudick.
Awesome. So if you go to Instagram, he always likes and puts hearts on all my comments. So I'm just kidding. All right, guys. So why are we here today? Why are we here today? So we're here to talk about business, and we're going to do another podcast around his superpower and my superpower, and how can we come together as humans to save the world. But first of all, we're talking about business. So the beautiful thing is we're both in the fitness industry, but in very different niches. So my niche is I wouldn't say the general public, but it's people who are looking to regain their warrior spirit. It's very simple kettlebell, dumbbell training, high intensity cardio, mindset, breathing, meditation, really bringing people back to their primal side. Now he's in the same fitness industry, but a very different niche. So we're going to talk about specifically how it affected our businesses and what did we learn from this and how are we going to grow from this? Because we both got hit pretty hard. Every single fitness company, I don't care who you are, if you're out there saying you didn't get hit, you're probably lying, because here's why I know. A lot of the gurus online cut all their programs in half. Why'd you cut your programs in half? Because you're struggling. Everybody's struggling. So let's not lie about it. We're all struggling. I talked to the cactus on my TikTok. Check it out. The cactus had it right because it wakes up and it has the sun that pays it every single day. It had it figured out. The plants. Another thing, before we go into this, one thing I want to think about is what's important to you now. Is that Lamborghini or that $1 million home important to you? Because your Lamborghini, where's it going to take you to? The non-essential or the essential store that you need to go to? Really think about this. Getting back to the human side, guys. Is that Lamborghini you were striving for, is that really what you want after this? Or is it really building a deep human connection? Really reconnecting to Mother Earth and understanding what is important. As long as we have food, we have shelter, we have everything. But everything is going to change when we come out of this. Everything's going to be different. So I'm going to talk about it from my perspective, but I'm going to hand over to him and talk about his business model and what he does, and then we'll talk about how it's affecting us in different ways. So first, talk about your business model. What do you specifically do?
First off, that was an amazing intro.
Thank you.
I mean, I felt like I needed a little sense. But okay, so what I do specifically is, I would say the majority of my business is focused on anyone that is looking to get out of pain and get reconnected.
Cool.
And which is why my company is called Reconnect Movement Systems. And out of all the years of doing everything I did, like how you spoke about when we first met, you know, it all came down to where it was just getting people in shape, the same thing. And then once I started to realize how I wanted to get myself out of pain and started to do as much research as possible on figuring out ways, why is my body doing specific things that it is, and how do we stop that? Because how can you see someone that can be 57 years old and they move like as an 11-year-old kid?
Right.
Like, how is that even possible? What are they doing differently?
Sure.
It can't just be genetics. There has to be something else going on here. And that's when I dove into digging into connective tissue and understanding emotions and how they drive those and how they're intertwined. And so that's when it comes into my business model, which is specifically helping people reconnect to those areas. Wow. So learning that your emotions drive the lines of pull within the body. Ooh. So if you, for example, are overzealous, you might have a different type of posture versus someone who is dealing with more negative emotions or doesn't know how to adapt to those stressors, right? Yeah. So when it comes to that too is a lot of our culture would dictate how we hold ourselves, and it could even be masking emotions, which means that you're holding tension somewhere else, right? So there's so many areas that this can cover, right? Which also makes it an amazing challenge at the same time. Sure. So that's why I love getting anyone that says, I've been to a doctor over and over again, I've been to the hands of 5 or 6 physical therapists, and like nothing's working. That's pretty much where I fall in. I'm like the bridge between a doctor and a physical therapist. Wow. And the cool thing is I actually have trained a handful of physical therapists and doctors. So it's nice to be able to know that I'm part of that bridge and to still have them come and ask for help and guidance on these things, because obviously everyone kind of has their own area of specialty, I would say. And I can't say that I'm a specialist in some manner, even though I might have certifications that say that, but really because it covers such a broad spectrum of this is how humans should be moving. Gotcha. Okay. That's why it's like, what is my niche? I guess it's just helping humans move how they should move.
Gotcha. That's awesome. So let's so that's his niche. That's what he does, and I've seen it in action. Go to his Instagram. This guy moves like a how would you say? Just so. What's the words I put on my Instagram? It's beautiful. It's art. He moves like fluidly, like Bruce Lee, and just this amazing. So let's talk about your past. Thank you. So he is an ex-bodybuilder, not an ex-bodybuilder. He just competed. He's a pro bodybuilder, pro natural bodybuilder. He just competed recently. Did very well on a pro show after a long hiatus. Correct. Yeah. Also has the human motion. Used to be a professional breakdancer or a high-level breakdancer? I
mean, I would say not breakdancing, but dancing.
Dancing. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about your past. Just a little bit about your past.
So I'm 32 now, and I competed bodybuilding. I started at 19, and I literally just went from doing what everyone else is doing and just trying to pack on the muscle because I was a really thin kid my whole life. Okay. And so it originally started because I got picked on so much that I was like, man, if I can just get a little bit of muscle on me, maybe I can protect someone else. Because obviously I had a brother who could absolutely defend my battles if I wanted him to, but I don't like violence. So for me, I figured if I could be a force to be reckoned with, I could stop violence from happening. And so my first initial driver to put on muscle was that exact thing. Okay. So really, it didn't really matter what I was doing. It just mattered about putting on muscle. Gotcha. And I kind of carried that mentality for a couple of years. And then I met a bodybuilding coach. He prepped me for a show. And I just loved the idea of like, you look at this person who's a massive bodybuilder who's big and shredded, and it's just intimidating to a lot of folks, you know. So that right there was still the same. I can be a force to reckon with. I can help save the little guy. Yeah. And so it was like this weird superhero mentality that I always had, and it kind of drove me into it. And then I obviously got hooked on bodybuilding, and it just didn't matter how I felt. Like I would 100% die happy as a bodybuilder and full of pain at 22 years old because it was like this is all that mattered, you know.
I remember that.
And so it just comes down to that mentality of truly being hooked on the look. Right. So once I got into my early 20s and I competed for a couple of years, I fully lost the reason why I even got into it. Gotcha. You know, I got into it specifically because I wanted to help. And then now it turned into this massive selfish, self-succumb thing where it's like, oh man, this is all about me and how I look, and I want to be the best in the world. Because I think I'm going to win at life or something, you know? And then eventually it just hit me one day after I went and competed in my first pro show, and I was opening up the gym at the time. And that's when I went, competed, and I brought my very worst package ever, which is terrible after bringing your best one and winning your pro card. So I bring my worst package ever, and still trying to open up the gym and things, and so my schedule was crazy, and I had my priorities all over the place. I was fully disconnected to who I was as a person, and I was just trying to fit all these things in with a relationship and having a dog and all these things that were going on, and really it came down to where talk about losing yourself in a process because you think this one thing means so much.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when I had my big turning point where I said I need to do things differently. And that's when I officially made the turn of how do I really feel?
Right.
And then I started to look back at my whole journey through this, even back to when I was a kid, and I'm just like, wow, talk about being in pain.
Yeah.
There's got to be another way.
Right.
You know?
You know what I love about what you said is, okay, so it was about the outward appearance, right? And now what you do is you help people connect through the emotions. Like, think about what he said, guys. The emotions dictate how your body feels, right? We talk about the mindset here all the time, that your thoughts drive your subconscious mind, which drives your emotions, but he took it to another level. Not only do your thoughts drive your subconscious mind, which creates a physiological response, but what he's sharing with us is taking it to another level, that physiological response is actually changing the way that your body moves. Think about that. Changes the way your body moves. So what we're doing here is we're helping the warriors regain their warrior spirit, the mindset, but if you're not dealing with those emotions properly, it's still going to start to move your body. It could create pain within your body and how it's moving, but think about that, going from the physical body, where he was obsessed with the physical appearance, lost sight of what he was doing, and then reconnected with the human mind and body of how it moves, which is pretty neat. So that's really cool to think about. Now, when you talk about your business, I've been thinking about you a lot, man, because a lot of us have been hit super hard, right? So I'll talk about myself personally. 3T Fitness, we are you would call us, we're classified as a boot camp. We are not a boot camp. We are a high-level training facility where we train groups of people in a personal training type experience. We were on this upward swing of it was freaking amazing. We got this awesome marketing team. We grew one person a day. We were growing by 30 people in 30 days. It was unbelievable. And then all of a sudden, bam, we got smacked by Caronavirus. Came on very serious. I'll be honest with you. At first, I wasn't taking it serious. I have my head stuck in the sand because I only focus on positivity going in my head. I wear headphones all the time, everywhere I go. Always positivity, always motivation. I had no idea that this was really going on, to be honest with you, until my marketing guy called me and said, "There's a problem. Nothing's working. And it was because of the coronavirus." So I started to really take it serious in regards to the health aspect of it, what this was about to do to humans. So it affected us fast and furious. All of a sudden, within last 14 days, it has been a remarkable decrease in our overall profitability. And now we're in survival mode, just being honest with you. We're working to keep the business open, which we're healthy, we're fine, we're going to come out of this, which is awesome. But we literally are working on changing the business model, because what we do know is that everybody is a captive audience. They're staring at their screen, they're listening to podcasts. The way we consume is completely different, and what they're showing us is, we're gonna lock you in your house. You're not gonna stare at a screen. You're gonna connect with people and do happy hours and push-up challenges on Instagram and Facebook. You're gonna use Zoom. You're gonna connect on Facebook and Instagram, and we're constantly consuming. So whether you need to evolve as a business, or you are going to perish, right? Now, some people, this is an excuse for them to get out of business, which I caution you doing that, because you have people's lives in your hands. If you're a trainer, do everything you can to survive. There is so much support out there. So if you truly got into this to help people, don't use this as an excuse to back down. I know some people that are doing that. Do not use it as an excuse to back down. You have a responsibility to help humans. Do everything you can. Go down swinging. Another thing that I thought about too is, as we transition back, we are transitioning. I won't let the whole cat out of the bag, because we have a surprise for our clients when they come back. Because we are getting more niche, we're getting more targeted and more dialed in. And our main focus isn't to grow our in-person. It's going to keep our core, slowly build it through referrals and few clients coming in, but we're going to start an academy, and we're going to talk about that when the clients come back. But we are going to evolve to really heavily focused on online education around the warrior spirit. So we were already poised for this. Doesn't mean we didn't get hit, but we will survive this. We will be here. The brick and mortar will be here, the business will be here, our core of clients will be here. So our model will be changing. How did your business get affected? So we had a good core of clients, but we got hit hard. So how were you affected, and how did this change? Did it change your thought process on moving forward, or not?
Yeah, it definitely took a hit. And took a hit right off the bat, and that was because my business is mainly focused around being with people and very hands-on. Yeah, very much so, because I need people to understand exactly what area of the body is being worked on, and so they need to see my body's motions, and I show a lot through, if we're working on something abdominal based, which is usually the majority of the stuff. They need to see me doing it as well. Gotcha. So me showing them and letting them feel. So a lot of touchy stuff going on. Yeah. So yeah, that's for me has been the biggest challenge, is how do I still get the same amount of value in that? So right now, I will say right off the bat when it hit me, I kind of had a similar approach where I was just like, man, is this, I understand what's going on, but like, how much is it really am I gonna let it into my world? So trying to just continuously doing the same things you were doing, and that's where I ended up falling into exactly what you're talking about too. And so now I would just say just a couple of days ago, I kind of had a nice wake up call where it really hit me towards like, man, the whole world's going to be different after this. There's nothing we can do about it. All we can do is continuously work on ourselves.
Yes.
And so if people are coming to you for your help and guidance, no matter what it is, you have to continue to work, right? You have to keep moving forward. So since I'm a firm believer in that we are the cure for just about everything, you know, we have all the answers inside of us, and how can you still get that message across while still giving the same value over online and virtual training?
Sure.
So right now, that is my current struggle, and I'm trying to make it happen, but I have a fantastic brand representative girl, and she's really putting in the work to help get my blog going, get my online programs developed, you know, so I'm shooting videos as often as I can and trying to get it as in-depth as possible. That way you're still getting the same. And I'm using Zoom as well as Zoom calls, so I'm trying to get as many virtual calls as possible with all my people to know that, once again, like you said, we can't just, because this is happening, step out and be like, oh man, my business is shutting down because this is not, so I have to do something different. And talk about a cop-out. You know, like, what are your real reasons for being in here in the first place? That's to help people, right? So that's for myself as well. It's like, I took this big hit. I will say, this is going to be the first month I really see it. And I don't like to use specific wordage because, you know, I agree that we all think negative thoughts. I just don't think we should say negative things. You know, so I don't want to even throw that into reality of like what might happen this month because of the hit. So I'm constantly on that uprise of game planning, you know, and to find ways to keep giving as much as I possibly can, because my entire business model is about helping people see what's inside of them, you know what I mean? And I have to be able to do that in a different manner now. And the example I keep giving to anyone that I hear that's like struggling with this exact thing is that it's like if someone chopped your arm off, your writing hand, you know, and now you have to learn to live a different way. And that's how we're looking at this right now. So we need to find a different way to live and function in our business.
That's powerful.
Because if not, then you're just giving up.
You are giving up. That's the thing. You are. So here's the thing the way I look at it is, we feel calmer than ever right now. We're actually super calm. And the reason why is because everybody's businesses are fucked up. Let's be honest with you. Everything's screwed up. Now, a couple businesses, your pool cleaning business, boom, bingo, you're good. There's some businesses that are thriving right now. But majority of people are screwed. Now, what I say by that is in a positive way, because we do think negative as human beings. That's how we're designed. We wake up with negative thoughts, right? Shit, it's morning time. And we constantly think negative. But here's the thing. We're now all at the bottom of the wave. We're at the bottom of the wave. Everything is going to change. I watch my 15-year-old daughter, everything she does, I write notes. Now, hear me out, business owners. Watch your children, your teenage children, move, talk, walk, interact. That will tell you where you need to go. I follow Gary Vee, whether you like him or not. He's been predicting this stuff for a long, long time. He's sitting back in his house. He's not sitting back in his house. I guarantee he's pre-planning like crazy, right? He's acting like he's sitting back in his house. He has a team around him. They're planning for a big launch. I guarantee you, mark my word, I predicted this 5 months ago. What's happening in the economy right now, I didn't predict, obviously 10 years, I didn't predict the coronavirus, but I predicted this, we prepared for it. Now here's the thing. We understood that we have to evolve. We have to evolve. I love the analogy. You chopped off my right arm. I'm learning to write with our left arm. Kev and I are literally, look like we haven't slept because we probably haven't, because we're incessantly studying the online game. And it is a game. It's like a video game. You have to understand it. And you know who has the knowledge? The kids. The kids that we keep telling to get off their damn phones, the kids that we keep saying are lazy, the kids that we keep saying are the punks, the kids that say, that's how they consume now. You seen the movie WALL-E? It's coming. It is coming. Go watch The Matrix. I just watched it last weekend. It's coming, folks. So if you're not ready for it, now I'm not talking conspiracy, I'm talking reality. How much has it changed since the 1950s? How much has business evolved? Now the key is, you can make it through this. There's bailouts. There's stimulus checks coming. So don't give up. Call your creditors. Call your landlord. Do the right thing. Be responsible. But be here when the dust settles. That is the key. Now, I love that analogy. If I chopped your right arm off right now, what would you do? And I use the analogy of, if I shut your faucet off, if I shut your faucet, here's the sad reality that I think, and I may piss some people off right now, but that's what I do. So if I walked into your house and I actually shut off your water faucet and I walked out, and you're like, oh, there's no water. You have family, you have dogs to give water to, your spouse, partner, loved one you're with, right? You need to drink water. You can't survive, right? Sadly, most people would just sit there. What I would do is I'd walk out and I'd go over to the local store. what if the store was out of water? Okay. I'm going to go to Starbucks to see if they'll give me a free cup of water. Okay, Starbucks doesn't have water. Most people would stop right there. What you do is you go to the next store, and the next store, and the next store, and the next thing you know, it's like, shit, I got to start digging a well. You have to keep on going because there is resources, and we talked about this today. It's the power of faith. Every single day, all we're doing right now is, read the Bible, guys. Hey, read the Bible. It's all in the Bible. Step by faith. Every single day, put one foot in front of the other, and you said it. Serve the people. Why did you get into business? Every single day, do what you intended to do. And if it's to help other humans, you will survive this. If it was to make money, all of you guys are getting hit right now. Guaranteed. All of you who are just in it to make money are suffering right now. Email me, text me, I guarantee you're suffering right now. If your main focus was just to make money, then you're suffering. We are surviving because our main focus was people. And we have the foundation to help us survive, right? So if you stay true to that, there's going to be support around you and staying faithful. So what are the next steps for you? So let's talk. He just did really well on the pro show. That was awesome. Are you going to continue the bodybuilding career? Is that something you're going to do? And where do you see your business going in the future? Like, where do you see?
Great question. I've actually been asked that quite a few times. And when it comes to the bodybuilding world, I loved the last experience that I did because I did it with about 80% all functional style training and gait pattern related movements and very small amount of actual bodybuilding. And I brought my best package I've ever done, which was really cool to see. It kind of was a nice, you can do this, not just beating yourself up and getting yourself to the ground. Obviously I wasn't the biggest I've ever been, you know what I mean? But I was the best looking I've ever been as far as conditioning and shape of the muscle and the graininess and detail. So when it comes to that, I told myself if I were to win or place second place, then I would come back.
Okay.
And I took fourth. So I said, okay. But I also did really well. Yeah. And a lot of people do think that I should have taken second place or possibly have won. So hearing that from a lot of people and people I don't even know and other coaches as well. So it's like, maybe one day I'll get back up there. But truthfully right now I have no desire to do so. Okay. But I kind of live every day as it is, tomorrow I might wake up and feel like, man, I want to start training for a competition again. So if that did happen, I wake up one morning, then I'll probably pursue it.
I have a follow-up question now. Okay, so this bodybuilding show, how long was it? What was the hiatus from your last bodybuilding show? How long was it?
Like 2.5 years.
Okay, so what was the difference? What was the difference mentally going into this one versus the other Jerame who was focused on the outward appearance and protection and more fear-based versus, was it a different feeling or did it come from it?
Absolutely.
Where was it driven from? Where was the emotion driven from?
Man, that's actually a very good question. I would say I wanted to do it because simply for the love of the sport.
That's awesome.
And it literally was just, this is going to be for fun, and it's just a hobby. Yeah. And before it was, this is my life. This is what I want to be. I want to be best at this. And once I started to actually listen to a lot of Simon Sinek, I started to understand where it's like you can't win at life. There's all these things that you really, it's a finite mindset to have. You know what I mean? And once I started to learn about the infinite mindset, that's when my mind completely shifted about how am I viewing the things that I'm doing when I'm spending my time. Spending my time with, and preparing for competition shouldn't be your whole life. Right. And this is usually advice that I try and give to anyone that wants to compete or is currently competing and they're struggling with it and they're having all these crazy negative thoughts. It usually means that maybe you're not in the right mental space to be able to do it in the first place. Right. But you can also still grow in the time frame. You know what I mean? So if you're like, I want to do a competition, ask a lot of personal questions in the first place. To where it's like, what is the purpose of doing this? You know. So for me, that's the conversation I had with myself going into this, and I realized, man, I'm just gonna have fun. That's awesome. It was simply just to have fun, and it really talk about when you start to understand things about stress and how much they affect your body, and going into this having zero stress, and obviously we can talk about this in the next interview about all the biohacking things that I do. Yes, applying all of that and all the breath work and all the years of doing that now since that last show versus, like you said, fear-based. Focused on this, so many things going on. It's a very chaotic way of living at first, and you can. I mean, if I could flash back into that time frame, I would have easily stopped myself in the face to be like, get it, get it straight and figure it out, And so I look at my mindset completely. Man, I was like a completely different person. Yeah. And the cool thing is, my girlfriend would even say the same thing. Yeah. She's like, she even says, "You're a totally different person." I used to get sick quite often going into that show. Yeah. Like I would get sick probably 2 or 3 times a year since I became a Wim Hof and. Person, I should say a hopper. I haven't been sick. Wow. So it's like that's almost 3 years now. Yeah. And I had food poisoning one time. Right. And I almost beat it off doing breath work, which is pretty amazing. We'll talk about that another time. But either way, talk about a different way of living all through my mindset. You know what I mean? So it's pretty pretty crazy.
It's pretty neat. You know, one thing a memory I will always have is when we went to San Francisco together to do Wim Hof. So we went to the Wim Hof experience. It's called the Wim Hof experience, I think it is, right? The Wim Hof experience. So we went there. We're on top of the Toyota building. It was an abandoned building, old Toyota building. It was, 300 people there? There's a lot of people, right?
It's probably a little more than that. I can't remember.
A lot of people, man. So I want to share the story because I'll never forget it. Number one, we kind of, it was fun getting there. We got there. We're in the middle of the night, and we were so freaking hungry, man. And so this guy is like a gazelle, man. And we go and we're trying to find food. We cannot find
Oh my gosh,
food.
nowhere was open.
And he just starts like, let's run. It was cold. We're in shorts and the tank tops, and it's cold. We're in San Francisco.
Yeah, it was like in the 40s.
Pretty cold.
Yeah.
And he just starts running, and I run like a 600-pound gorilla. He runs like a gazelle. So we're running through these, and all of a sudden we're in a really bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
We come
took a wrong turn.
Yeah, we took a wrong turn. We're like a really bad neighborhood, and this guy, what was it? We stopped at like a corner, and we got some man or something. We're just like, he takes off running.
Terrible
like,
things right off the bat.
Right off the bat, we're in the wrong neighborhood. So we just start running. We end up going down the street, and there's this big, huge dude in this suit, like a pimp suit. Like pimp suit. Everything. He's like, wait, and he's like, we're looking for some food. He goes, all right, man, check it out. He opens this door. We go through a hallway, like into a speakeasy type. We go through this hallway through all this stuff.
It's like a 1950s.
Yeah, go through this bar and then go through this hallway, and we end up having a chicken waffles, right?
So good too.
In the middle of the night, we're in this bar. We're in a. They were playing MTV Raps.
Yes, MTV. Old school MTV.
Yeah, they're like, these two guys are together. We're in this bar in the middle of the night. We're not drinking. We both don't drink. I don't know if y'all drink.
I don't
drink either. And so we're in this bar. We're eating chicken. It was just a really cool experience. And then we go to Wim Hof, and I have to share this. We have time. I want to share this story because it's really funny. So, Jerame, he's an avid Wim Hofer, right? So I was like, I'm getting into this. I learned a lot from him, and I'm like, I want to get into this. I was going to Audit Academy, and I was really excited. So this has all been a new journey for me the last 2 years. This whole spiritual plants. I do plant medicine. I'm very open about that. I freaking love it. It expands my mind. And this was a new experience for me, and so I didn't prepare because I was building this gym. And I did not prepare, and I did not breathe, and I did not do cold water therapy, and I thought because I'm a lawyer that I could handle it, right? And so we go through, and Diego Sanchez, that was crazy. So we become dear friends. It's pretty wild. So that was Diego's the one that got me into all this. I watched one video, and then he sat right in front of me. Anyways, so all this stuff happened, and then we go through, and then we get into the ice baths. We're in a circle, right? And we jump in these ice baths, and my ego kept me in there. I needed to get out, and people were hopping out. I'm like, no, I'm not getting out. He's super calm. Like we're in the ice up to our neck, and Jeremy's next to me, just breathing. And I'm like, I start shaking, and the whole freaking bath starts shaking. The whole thing, like everybody in there is like,
it's like a one-time.
I would not get out of the fucking thing, and I almost killed myself. They were like, hey buddy, get out. I'm like, no, I'm standing. If he's standing, I'm standing. He's looking at me like, breathe. He says, like, breathe. I'm like, I can't breathe. But it started in my toe, and it went all the way in my arm, and it just was like, bullshit. My back was messed up for like a week after that. We get out. This is the part there's a cool part to the story. The part that was really neat about this is when I knew you were a dear friend, and we get out, and I'm fucked up, guys. I literally am shaking, like, and it's cold outside. And this guy comes up to me, he's like, all right, breathe. He's moving forward, like, Bruce Lee, we're moving back and forth. And Jerame does not leave my side. He's having his own Wim Hof experience, right? And so instead of bailing on me and going and enjoying the experience, he comes right next to me. He's like, he starts moving with me. He starts moving. I'm like, this dude is a good friend. Did not leave my side the whole time. And I was like, I messed up. But he just stayed with me. And I'm like, this is a cool, because I'm kind of messing up his own experience, right? And it was just this really cool moment. We started to walk away. I'm like, this dude really cares about me. I'm not just somebody who went to Wim Hof with him. I'm a dear friend. He's not going to leave me behind. And I thought that was really cool. It was a moment that changed my life. I'm like, dude, that's how humans should be with each other. That's how we should be right now. And that's kind of how I want to wrap up, not kind of how I'm going to wrap up the podcast, is that's what we need. We need humans like him that are going to be there for you, that are going to stand up for you, that are going to protect you, that are not going to leave your side, because there's too many people right now, fathers specifically, bailing on their kids, bailing on their friends. When shit hits a fan, they take off. When shit hits a fan, you don't take off. That's when you bunker down. You gotta have friends around you like that right now. And I really want to encourage you guys to really look at your surroundings right now, because that's who's going to survive. Who are your surroundings right now? Are you around people who are going to be like, oh, Jerry, just walk away from the business. It'd be really easy to walk away. Let's go get a job or whatever. No. Let's freaking figure this out. Let's figure out how we can help more people. Let's figure out that's the type of people we need to surround ourselves with. So I'm very grateful to have you as a friend, number one. I wish we could connect more. I know we're both very busy, and you like to take naps. No, I'm
I do that.
We're actually messing up his nap time right now. But I love being around you, man. It feels like when we connect right away, I mean, we wouldn't have eating pizza that one day. That was wonderful. Pizza. It was just cool to connect with you, and I really appreciate you. So our next podcast, to be continued, is we're going to talk about our superpowers. So I believe I have superpowers, okay? Kevin has superpowers. Jerame has superpowers. We all have superpowers. What if we're all in a movie? What if we're all the Avengers coming together for one common goal, and then we all go into our own superhero movie? What if? I believe that. That I'm fully living out the character that I was supposed to be with my with my DNA, my fingerprints. I'm a single organism. But I truly believe that. I believe we all come here with different DNA, different fingerprints to live out our superhero journey. And I think too many people are getting the warrior spirit ripped out of them. So we're going to talk about in the next podcast our superhero powers and how we can use them for good. We're going to expose our superhero powers.
I love
it. But every single human has it. I want you to listen to yourself. Listen to your fears, listen to the anxiety you have. It's going to speak to you right now. There's going to be a lot of solitude. And the very thing that keeps coming up over and over is the thing you need to work on. Do not numb your mind with TikTok videos unless they're mine. You can watch those every single day. Like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's all positive. JVIMPACTS _. If it's not mine, or Jeremy's, or Kevin's, or Brian's, or Jerame, the other Jerame, then you should watch it. Okay. All right, guys. Any final comments, like around business? Anything you want to motivate the people? Like anything you want to say to the world?
I would say, I guess the biggest message is don't be afraid to adapt and learn a new skill. Because times like this, they kind of demand it. You know, right now we're all having to learn a new skill or a new approach.
Yes.
Don't let your perspective shift because of the reality around you might be changing.
Yeah.
It's up to us to keep the vision going forward. You know what I mean? I feel like right now this is a massive test. Regardless of what you believe and whatever is happening, it really is a true test to all of us in our mental capacity and how much we really have in us to keep moving forward.
Yes, I love it, man. Maybe the physicality changed, but the mission should not change.
Right.
The physicality around us should change, but open your eyes, guys. It's history repeating itself. Mm-hmm. They're asking us, are we going to evolve? Or are we going to stay exactly the same? I believe as humans we're supposed to evolve, so that's why we're going to do our superpowers next. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health and mindset coach of the world. Please follow Jerame Mudick. Go to my Instagram, Facebook. You will see him there. Like, subscribe, comment, share. If you're in any pain at all, he does online coaching as well.
Yes.
Online coaching as well. We can take you so far, but he can take you to the superhero level.
I love that.
He's not as handsome as me, but don't not follow me because you're following him because he's devastatingly handsome and he moves like a cheetah. All right, guys, I love you guys. We will talk to you. I don't know when we'll talk to you next, but we'll talk to you. Good job, man.
That was fantastic.
That was fun, dude. That was fun. Hey, what's up, guys? Coach JV from 3T Fitness. Do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button. And right down here, hit the notification button. That way you can be alerted on all our videos. Also, if you want to see something on this YouTube channel, leave it down in the comments below. We may just do your video.